Hello, and welcome back to my channel. This is Reality with Diva D. How you doing? Hey. Come on in, like, comment, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell button. You will be notified when I upload a video. Share the video. Why? Because sharing is indeed caring. So let's do the reunion and the last episode of Belle Collective. Okay, so we're on the previous episode and we're still in Atlanta. So the problems are going down still with KERI and Mark. She has called him out his name. Things have went left. And I have already said that I did not care. And I'm pro-woman all day. I just did not care for her doing that in front of the group. You know, Mark was representative. He wanted to stay somewhere else, which is understandable, seeing as how that damn Latrice put them on a cot. So we get back to America. Because I can say America because they don't ever go anywhere outside of the surrounding states. Child, that's a mess. All they doing is hitting I-20. Going on around there to Atlanta. And going on around there to hitting 55 and going on around there to New Orleans. Okay? But anyway, it's neither here nor there. So they get back to America and they are planning the wedding. Right? We're planning Selena's wedding. And I'm just not going to talk about a whole lot about that episode. I just wanted to dissect the wedding. I don't like Mike. I've said it before and I say it again. He is no JJ. And for me, the missing piece of this show is the comedic timing of JJ and his relationship with Willie. And I miss all of that. Even though Glenn and Mark and all of them, they and Cliff, they have a decent camaraderie, but it's nothing like that relationship with JJ and Willie. I mean, we're never gonna get it back, but I'm just saying that was the glue for me, and especially since for some damn reason Greedy does not participate in the whole maleness of the whole thing. So we get to the wedding. Everything is still not quite to perfection. It's not organized as it should be, but we're gonna pull it out. The wedding was beautiful. Selena looked beautiful. Wasn't much to say there. I mean, JJ and Gucci had more scenes with the girls. I'm not sure why Selena is not doing a whole lot of scenes with them. Maybe they got fatigued when so Gucci was on the show and all that drama transpired. But it didn't have to transpire because nobody wanted Selena on the show that really understood the premise of the show. Now, everybody who were bringing fans wanted Selena on the show. But the premise of Belle Collective for me was upwardly mobile women moving in Jackson and grooving just like the... Ooh, I wish I could get the Rich Ass Auntie channel for free. Then I would be recapping the Access Index Jackson, because when you speak of black women and Jackson is upwardly mobile, those sisters got it, baby. And so happens that Amanda is on that show. So we get to the reunion. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm gonna talk about the wedding just a little bit more. Things I did like. I definitely liked about, Selena showing her son. I rewound there about 3 times. Cause I was just looking at her grandkids and his children or whatever, and carrying his picture, and boy, whew, that touched my wee little heart. I can't even lie. Even though I don't want Selena to be married to this dude, I think Selena married him so she could have somebody on the show to be married to. I don't think Mike is. I don't think he's faithful. I'm getting standing on the corner of Valley Street vibes from him still with his boys. I am. I'm not. I'm not seeing a a businessman in him. I'm not seeing someone who can take Selena to the heights of this show and the premise of this show. Cliff does that for Latrice, even though he's a smusive, still in my opinion. But he is that man who compliments her. So that's that on that. I just don't see it. But in the wedding, it was some issues with KERI as usual. It's just that KERI and Marie are like oil and vinegar. Did I say that right? Because I know people talk about people who say oil and vinegar. Oil and vinegar supposedly go together. That's what they say. But any liquid mixed with oil repels each other. I don't know why the hell people be laughing at people when they say oil and vinegar, because I done put them together before. And I know when oil go with liquid, it separates. That's neither here nor there. I think it's oil and water. Oil and water. Oil and water, yeah. Any liquid, in my opinion. But anyway, it's she got irritated with her. Everybody knows in the South that when it rains on a wedding, these are the sayings. When it rains on a wedding, God is crying. And when it rains at a funeral, he is happy because he's about to receive the dead. So KERI saying that when it rains, it's bad luck. That's true. Why are they talking about she made that up? That's the dumbest shit I've ever seen. And we all know that Southern people say sayings all the time. I don't get it. I don't get why they were so upset about that. Plus, it was damn bad luck because the food didn't come on time. Okay? But all in all, the wedding was nice. And like I said, Selena looked nice, but again, it's given I want to be married on the show to a man that I ain't equally yoked with. So let's get to the real. I'm not understanding the whole KERI beef issue. Why these people beefing with KERI? Even though I felt like she was disconnected from the show because she down there on the coast. She was giving up her life. She's been on 2 seasons. And she has given 54% more than Tamra has. Tamra has in all what they call so-called 7 seasons. The episode opens up and we have the girls in their beautiful gowns. I don't like Latrice's dress. It's disconnected. The dress should have been one piece. That's the Cher look. But that girl's so young, she don't even know who Cher is. I mean, damn, have you seen pictures? You're in the entertainment business. Do a little research every once in a while about some shit. Just, I mean, these millennials are able to use that whole, I wasn't born then. I wasn't born in the 60s. Hell, I know who Cher is. You know what I'm saying? It's because I was born in an era, I was raised by a boomer. And boomer parents to Gen X parents were keeping us up on what the 60s was like because they wanted to let us know what they had gone through, the struggles they had gone through. They wanted us to know about the music, the culture, everything. And by the time my mom had told me all the things that were happening in the 60s, even though I'm living in the segregated South, I was like, ooh. If I could only have been born. I so admired just by my mom telling me stories about the 60s. I so admired that time that I wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to have those little boots from May, walking from Nancy Sinatra. Anyway, as I was saying to the they have found ways to blame KERI for everything. They better be blaming her for keeping the season afloat, because that's exactly what she has done. Because content creators all over the globe saying this season was boring without KERI and her mother-in-law issues. So we get to Latrice and Letitia. And Latrice says that she doesn't, she's not cool with Letitia because she doesn't trust her. But Letitia, once again, is sitting up there thinking that they're in a good place. And that's that thing that Marie is always telling Letitia about with Latrice. They think in one way and she's thinking the other. So let's get to Letitia's dress. The dress, finally, she didn't look squirrels off in her clothes like she normally does. The dress fit her perfectly. And then she had it going on. And then she had this fucking wing from that motorcycle brand that I can't think of right now. And it just destroyed the whole entire look. While I'm speaking of KERI little old school flip didn't do anything for me. I hated her hair. I hated those extra layers of, as I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted. The dress, if it didn't have that extra layer at the top and it had been a single layer, I would have just given her 5 stars because the rest of the dresses were horrible. I hated Marie's dress. Marie overdoes it. Marie needs to stay out of them damn corners ass gown stores in Jackson because they are gaudy. She looks gaudy at reunion. And Tambra has a tendency to look gaudy because Tambra, even though she's from Jackson, Mississippi, and she reps Jackson, Mississippi so well, she represents Texas in her clothes. Gaudy, cowgirl, realness over there. Hated it. So for the dress styles, even though I like the idea of Latrice's dress because I like that painted on gold look where it looks like you just, the dress melted onto you. Rather Knox fucked her up again like she fucked up Monique with those damn triangles. Had Monique walking around looking like a Dorito. And she did the same thing with Latrice by taking too much away from the dress. None of that should have, it should have just been the top without the cape, because I could have went for that, or both sides even. That whole asymmetrical bullshit she had going on, and it just looked like she just had thrown some fabric together and made 2 unmatching pieces, unevenly matched pieces. No ma'am. But I'll say the bust down and the look, it was giving. Selena dress just looked cheap. That's all into it. Did she look beautiful? Yes. But it looked like she went around the corner too and got a dress for $29.99 down to the belt. Move right along. I want to talk about, and let me talk about London Simone right quick. That baby act like she ain't no Tampa. That baby didn't want Tampa now. That baby want her daddy. I was looking at that last night. I said, well, yeah. See, I'm friends with a whole lot of people that she friends with, that she related to, and I don't think she follows me, but I do follow her on Instagram, and some of her cousins and stuff follow me on Instagram, and I was like, I wanted to say so bad, that baby didn't want her mama. As soon as that baby started pulling away from her mama, I knew then. I was like, most children that age in a beautiful gown would love to be on the spotlight on stage. That baby didn't want her mama now. I'm just keeping it 100. And then, you know, once they come to the conclusion of why they not getting along, Letitia and Latrice, or why they have this distrust for each other, at least Latrice has the distrust for Letitia, it stated that it was because of Josh. And Selena put in her 2 cents and said, no, I don't see the communication that you're talking about where there should be a level of distrust there, because they weren't talking about anything significant or really even mentioning you. Because we have to keep in mind, it's one thing about Josh that I have heard in the Canton streets is that motherfucker can do some goddamn makeup. Okay? So, yeah, I mean, the word on the curve is that he the man to go to around there, down to the Canton, down to the Jackson, when you want to get your face tightened up. I have to go see for myself one day. Maybe I probably can't afford him, but I'm just saying. I just know he is a businessman as well. He's not just Latrice's sidekick. And she knows he does great makeup. Hell, she had him working for her at some point. I think. I'm not sure. I know I've seen him do, I want to say I saw him do Gucci and Keisha's makeup, like on their personal channels. I don't want to lie. Drop down in the comments and let me know, am I correct on that? Because I think I am. But anyway, so she's not trusting her about that conversation with Josh, and then downhill from there for Latrice. Latrice wears her emotions on her face, in her chest, and everywhere else on her body. She lost it. This girl, out of all these seasons, she's just simply not comfortable on camera. Breathing all hard throughout the episode. I'm like, I was looking at the rest of them to see what their hearts pumping like that, and what they breathing in and out like that. I said, no, this girl is nervous. So when we transition over about Letitia, they bring up about the events of this season and how KERI, how Marie, this is the triangle conversation, how Marie felt that KERI slighted Letitia because she did the influence event with Latrice. And baby, KERI just pretty much told the truth. You's a brunch bitch. And I don't know how your dollar's flowing. Latrice is a rich bitch. And we can influence each other. Okay. And that's how I took it. That's how I took it when the episode aired. I was like, she know what she doing. She going with who she felt like can be equally beneficial to each other. KERI and them diamond. But that let Marie's soul on fire. Listen to me. There will not be a show if it wasn't for Letitia Pearson. And if it wasn't for me, we wouldn't have made a second season, because Gate is what put us on the map. Well, Latrice is denying Gate. So who's telling the truth? Was Gate really a thing where she said, come over to my shop, buy some hair, and say you don't like it? Because that was the setup. And that's what a lot of people are saying about Belle Collective. It seems disingenuous. And I'm beginning to see what people are talking about, even though I get to see the sights of Jackson, and then I'm comparing the Rich Lady and Index Jackson. Now I'm comparing the two shows, and I'm just seeing a more realistic portrayal of Jackson than what I'm seeing on Belle Collective. Just saying. And then Marie told her you're a fan of the show. Is she though? I mean, I guess. but again, there's that whole thing of, I think the most views they have gotten is like maybe 450,000. The rest is, they hover around 150 to 250,000 views. And KERI is like, my numbers bring the boys to the yard. Because, baby, I'm the influencer. How many followers do you have? Because your followers seem fake. So she was implying that some of those girls are buying followers. Okay, as a content creator myself, and trying to keep it honest, it is tempting to buy views. I mean, especially on TikTok, it's always, I give you 40,000 views for $23. And I'm not even talking about outside bot type people. I'm talking about the website itself. YouTube does the same thing. So, and then when you see a video that you worked hard on, like for instance me, I've seen videos that I worked hard on, I get 2 views. And when you see stuff like that, you like, damn, I mean, I worked so hard on that, I am tempted. But I'm trying to make it authentic. Okay? And Maria's like, well, I have views. I mean, I get those followers because I went through some things on this show. And she's talking about Cypher the Voice. Cypher the Voice was a blogger here in Mississippi that exposed a lot of things. He didn't just expose Marie. His goal for me was to expose a lot of different bad things that happened. And then he ended up being a criminal. And I'm like, you had exposed teachers who had been molesting children, and then that's what you do? I'm thinking when I first saw him, I said, yeah, him and his wings, baby, because him exposing those teachers, that was a big deal around here. And then he goes, and it just seemed weird. I mean, he was stalking the girl and everything. That's neither here nor there. Yeah, a contradiction. Hypocrite. That's the words I'm looking for. So now it's time for Selena to jump on KERI. KERI is the one who brings the boys to the yard. So Selena, of course, she's going to not see it for KERI, because the one thing they got working against each other, these are 2 Scorpios. Okay. I think I can remember KERI because her and my best friend's birthday is on the same day, the one that passed away. So she got a little special place in my heart, a little tingle. I think her birthday is November the 10th. I think Selena's birthday is either on the 13th or the 15th. Somewhere in the early teens, 13, 15, somewhere around in there. So, I make it my business to know who the Scorpios are. And so they pulled out their little stingers on each other. And KERI is not really gelling with anybody in the group because her and Tambra are sorors, and I don't see them interacting like sorors on this show. You would think that they would be, closer than Tambra and Selena. But Tambra is 10 toes down for Selena. So Selena says, I don't appreciate you going to this event and doing your influencer thing, which I wanted you to do. But I didn't want you to post my man in his tubs. Boo you. Why you do that? And then she confronted her about the bad luck thing, which I've already explained. And KERI was like, I did what I thought was best. And this is where I got to get on you, KERI. This is where you're going to have to come to the front. KERI, you were wrong for that, because I'm just saying, you can't make the decision for Selena of what you think is best. She told you what she wanted, and you did the complete opposite, and because you felt like you knew what was best. And that's how you are with a lot of things. It's very controlling. And that's how I know Maybelline Marlene and you are never going to get along as long as you're doing that, because you have a very, 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 very strong opposition to compromise when you think you're right. So Marie is cutting up in the background. But before they go to take the break for lunch, we talk about Tambra. And Tambra, I'm confusion. Because I'll tell you why. Because the other day, as a matter of fact, we had a conference in Jackson, and we were on our way back home, and I just felt horrible. It was something about that building that messed me up. I had allergic reaction. My face swelled up, my fingers swelled, the whole nine. So because my arm was numb, my left arm was numb, the doctor gave me a battery of tests to rule out a stroke, because he was looking at me like I stroked something, sticking pins in my arm and stuff like that. I wasn't feeling anything, and these were even, he's thinking maybe mini strokes, but at the same time, strokes at the same time. And I'm just not understanding why that couldn't have been diagnosed. I don't see, especially with them living in Jackson, and I bet you they went to UMMC. UMMC not ruling out a stroke. Tambra, I'll tap you on your shoulder. I ain't feeling what you're putting down. I'm not. Not as far as your dad's health. Now, him having Alzheimer's and you admitting that, dementia, Alzheimer's, all the same thing. It's cognitive disorders. Messes with your memory. Short-term memory especially. So, I can ride with that. But not knowing if there was a stroke, and shaking. But girl, again, your baby didn't want you. So, there's that. So, they have a segment right in here that makes no sense. Because if they were going to bring Amanda out, they should have brought him. And why they got Amanda looking better than Nala, Belle, and I? And they talking about the double standards with Amanda and Shantae. And I agree, 100%. Latrice, again, is not, I'm not feeling her for the last 3 seasons. Period. Messy, scheming, manipulative. All those things that Marie was saying about her, I wasn't feeling until recently. Because that makes no sense for you to have someone to have your back, literally. This woman is accusing Glenn of digging down in her DMs, which we know that he probably did, because Glenn is a hoe, allegedly. But here's Shantae on the show giving the rest of the Bells what they give to Letitia, even though Letitia, I'm not feeling Letitia for, and I never will, for sitting down with Tambra Stalker, but at the same time, Shantae was just giving Tambra the same thing that Amanda was giving Letitia. I mean, sometimes that's what friends of the show do. I mean, Carlos should understand the concept of the friend of the show, because he worked with the ultimate friend of the show, Marlo. And Marlo was stirring shit with Kenya all the time. I said before, and I say it again. Carlos, you need to talk to these Belle bitches about how to introduce and properly keep a friend to the show. Because you popped up and let them have their way when Letitia said she didn't want Amanda to film. And Amanda, even though I didn't like the situation, how it popped off, I'm just saying, you let Amanda lead the show mid-season because Letitia was cutting up. And then you let Shantae leave because Latrice was cutting up. And Tampa. The whole thing of having a friend on the show is to display somebody that supposedly gives that extra judge to the show. I like friends of the show, but this show always cut them off damn mid-season before they can give anything for real, for real. And Shantae did disappoint me by coming out with that whole bullshit about Tambra, dating somebody besides Greedy. Well, we don't know what the relationship between her and Greedy is, but just saying that she's dating the juice man, I don't know about that either. Hell, I don't even think Tambra dating anybody, if you really want to know the truth. That's how I see it. But at the same time, Shantae, you could have worked it just a little bit better. Latrice sitting up there calling Shantae the mouthpiece, but the amount is yours. There's a lot of things that's going on up under that hair and that extra breathing. Trust me when I tell you that. And Tambra, by the way, you're just going to have to roll with some of the things that's happening on the show. I'm getting really sick of you with the NDAs and the defamations and the lawsuits. I mean, you are a part of a reality show, my dear. So, they finally break after all the friend of the show mess, and then Amanda sitting up there looking better than everybody on the cast. I mean, she was put together. Now, I didn't like Shantae's. I like Shantae's dress. It didn't fit her properly. And that hair. Where was she going? You know, prom? I don't know. But they get back to that back. And Marie's telling about how the cipher did her and how he ended up taking somebody in her family out. And she mentioning KERI, and KERI is a soft spot for her and everything and in her very existence. Marie always find somebody to take her off her square and have her remind people that she is an OG. You do not have to do that. And that was the thing that irritated me the most about Nene. We get it. We get it. We are your OG and you held things together and you are that girl. But, and however, we as the audience get fatigued off of it, boo. Find something else to say. And then to me, you have that mother wound. And you seem just a little twinge, bit jealous of. And as I was saying before, I was so brutally interrupted. I think she has that mother wound. And she sees Moline and Eleanor showing up for KERI. And KERI, mama said, hey, I'm hearing my baby's name through the walls. From the windows to the wall. And she is gaining clout off of my child. I'm about to go get her straight. And I'm going to tell you that help. She needs some help. And that's exactly what Eleanor did. Come on in. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell button. You will be notified when I upload a video. And share the video. Why? Because sharing is caring. And as I do, when I close, I'm going to chunk them up. Deuces.